Yo guys, what's going on? I am Justin for the Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report. This is the UFC Insight. Yes, guys, I have made the UFC Insight channel. You can also check out my UFC website at theufcinsight.com. You can also check us out on our Facebook page at the UFC Insight. And guys, UFC 142 is officially over. One hell of a pay-per-view. A pretty quick pay-per-view, I would like to say also. I thought this could be more of a longer pay-per-view, and it came off pretty intense at the end. You got Jose Aldo Jr. taking on Chad Money Mendes, and you also had a really entertaining short fight between Vitor Belfort and Anthony Johnson. Now, this is a really interesting match card. So I'm going to go right into the main card. Like I said, I don't really do the prelims. The prelims this week was on FX, and it was Gabriel Gonzaga, the Gabriel Gonzaga fight really brought my attention to it. He returned to the octagon for the first time in 15 months, and he won via a rear naked choke. And it was just a very, somewhat pretty okay prelim fight, but I don't really want to cover it here on the Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report UFC video. So let's get right into the main card. The pay-per-view started off with Edson Barboza taking on Terry Edom. Terry Edom, I was supposed to interview before his bout here, but I think the chance of him getting back on is going to be for another 2 or 3 weeks until he recovers. This was a very entertaining fight. Barboza defeats Edom via a knockout, a wheel kick. This is probably one of the most electrifying, probably the best knockout I have seen in the UFC. It ended in the last round and at 2:02. It was just a very entertaining kick. It was a very entertaining bout, and it was a lightweight bout, but Edson Barboza does come out on top. Next up, we got the welterweight bout between Eric Silva and Carlos Prater. Now, this only lasted for like 29 seconds in the first round. Prater versus Silva. Silva came out and he went straight. It was a very quick fight, actually. It lasted 29 seconds, like I said. Silva comes in, and what looks like it was shots to the back of the head, which he lost due to that, apparently. Referee Mario Yamasaki said that he apparently got hits to the back of the head, which is actually illegal in UFC, and Eric Silva was actually disqualified. Carlos Prater does pick up the victory in 29 seconds in the first round. So Silva does say, "I apologize to my fans. I'm going to walk out of here." With the, I don't want to say this wrong, but he said he said he's going to come out as a victor. He said, I think so he kind of worded it like that. So Eric Silva that match should have actually been Eric Silva's way. Should have been in a knockout. So, but Carlos Prater does defeat Eric Silva via a disqualification. Next up, you're going to go to the middleweight bout between Mike Masenzo and Rosamir Falharis. Falharis defeated Masenzo via a submission heel hook with a minute 03 left in the round 1. Next up, you got the catchweight fight. You got the catchweight fight between Vitor Belfort and Anthony Johnson. Anthony Johnson coming into his first, I think, middleweight bout. He failed to make weight at the weigh-in yesterday, so it had to be a catchweight fight. So Vitor Belfort and Anthony Johnson was going to be a catchweight, but it wasn't really entertaining as much as I thought it would be because it was only a round 1 type of deal. Belfort got him into a rear naked choke with 4:49 left in the 4:49 in the first round. He wins. Vitor Belfort does pick up the victory. Anthony Johnson, there could have been 2 ways why he could have lost this match. He was very dehydrated, the doctor said, and he really got to get hydrated for the match. He was weighed in again. He did get it. He did make weight, so the catch weight fight was put in place. So Anthony Johnson did make weight, but he had to get really hydrated for this type of fight. And I think that's another reason why he probably did not last until the second round. So it was pretty entertaining for like the first couple of seconds, actually, because you can just feel like, oh, this is going to be a great match. This is going to be probably a top match of the kick off 2012. But in the end, it lasted only 1 round. But Vitor Belfort does pick up the victory via submission via a rear naked choke. And to wrap up the main card, you got Jose Aldo Jr. taking on Chad Money Mendes. Now, this was really entertaining. The match was stopped for like 30 seconds because you saw a lot of holding and everything, so the referee, Mario Yamasaki, wanted to break it up and let these guys go right at it, and I did agree with him on that part. and the match actually ended with seconds until the end of the first round, where Jose Aldo, I think, kneed Chad Money Mendes right in the face, knocking Mendes down, and Jose Aldo taking full leverage and just knocked Chad Mendes out after a couple of, I think, right hands to the face, and that ended the pay-per-view. And still, Jose Aldo is still the UFC featherweight champion, and that wraps up UFC 142. The next time UFC will be having an event, I think it's going to be this upcoming Friday night. It's going to be on the 20th. It's going to be at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. You got Goliard versus Miller. It's going to be a pretty entertaining match. You got Ludwig going in, Dwayne Ludwig versus Josh Neer, Jim Miller versus Melvin Goliard. You also got Jorge Rivera versus Eric Schaefer, just to name some bouts. Daniel Roberts versus Charlie Brenneman. Pretty decent bout. You got Pat Barry versus Christian Morkoff. So I'll possibly could be previewing this matchup, this match card, maybe by next Thursday. So there you go, guys. That is UFC 142. Let me hear your guys' comments on the whole event. This is a pretty short event. I thought this could at least been maybe a little bit longer, but hell, it's UFC. Anything can happen in the UFC. Me and Tim are making a website. We're going to be launching it at the week either before the Super Bowl or the week after the Super Bowl. We're looking for writers. We're looking for WWE. We're looking for pro wrestling. I'm the UFC guy. You want to help me out, please contact me and Tim on here. We're looking for NFL, MLB, you name it, we're looking for writers. So if you want to become a writer on our website, please contact us ASAP. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your guys' this weekend. UFC 142 is officially over. And next up, we got UFC on Fox. Evans versus Davis in a lightweight bout. It's just going to be a great night, everybody. Have a great night, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.